Good morning, honorable judges and everyone present here. I am Salsa and I stand here as the first speaker of proposition team of today's motion. This House prefers a world where critical resources are governed by the International Materials Agency. The honorable judges and everyone present here, before we move into the arguments, let me first explain what is our today's motion really mean. Critical resources are things that are always being needed by us, people in the earth, to live like oil, natural gas, earth element, nickel, etc., but has limited existence. Like for example, oil that we use every day for maybe going to school by motorbike or car, work, traveling with airplane, etc. And the fact that it is also used by other people, not just us, making the oil resources more likely to burn out faster. Let's think. If those oil are worn out, we won't be able to go to school or work or traveling again. Unknown that nowadays we already have an electric vehicle like electric car or electric motorcycle, electric bicycle as substitute for oil vehicle. But we must know that fact that those electric vehicles needs a battery that made from nickel. Yes, from nickel. And uncritical and non-renewable resources. This means that the substitute it's no matter fairly because the critical resources is still used, but just in different kind. With that, we need an international materials agency, a global organization that manage critical resources in global so the resources can be managed nicely and fairly. Those critical resources existence are more secure and sustainable. For those reasons, I really stand with the motion that this House prefers a world where critical resources are governed by the International Materials Agency. Here's why. First, save the existence of critical oil resources. Making critical resources to be governed by the International Materials Agency will save the existence of the critical resources itself. Why? Because when the critical resources are managed by the International Materials Agency, the company that wants to use the resources will first ask permission to International Materials Agency, and the International Materials Agency will weigh it with considering how's the world condition first, like considering how important it is and how much company needs to weigh the impact for others. With this mechanism, I really believe that the critical resources are used more fairly and responsible, so everyone in this world will get it fairly. I mean, like the people, company, etc. will get those resources fairly. Also, the existence of the critical resources will still be guaranteed until many years in the future. It means that giving the responsibility of processing the critical resources to International Materials Agency will reduce the risk of shortages that will make people life are guaranteed to be easy until the future. 2. To save the global economy. Giving the responsibility of managing critical resources to global or International Materials Agency will save the global economy. Why and how is it work? Giving the responsibility of managing critical resources to International Materials Agency means that we will rely the use of those critical resources by the International Materials Agency. I mean, just like the first argument, when the company, when the company need they need oil, the company will ask permission from the agency first, those agency that International Material Agency first, and then the agency will weigh it considering how much they will give it and how much the impact for the world, for the whole world. They will see the condition, the world's condition first, the resources existence, then deciding how much they will give the company, but still thinking about the others. This will guard us from getting the impact of some world's critical condition that lead to shortages of resources distribution. For example, we can see now that the oil prices are increases badly. I mean, due to the war that making the Hormuz Strait got problem. The Hormuz Strait way to distribute the oil stopped. I mean, just for one night, the impact is just for one night, the fuel called Pertamax Turbo price were are increases around 40 until 50% per liter from 13k rupiah changed to 19.1k rupiah on one night, and now increases again to 19.4k rupiah. This would torture the citizen, exactly the lower income citizen. I know that there's available a fuel subsidy from government that is cheaper, but sometimes, let's just take the case from my region, my village, sometimes the subsidy one is sold out and we only have one choice, maybe we are too long while we are in a hurry, so we have to choose the Pertamax Turbo because there are no queue, because no one wants to buy those expensive thing, considering the fact that Indonesia's average salary is so low compared to the price of the needs in Indonesia. Also, with the prices of oil increases, the prices of other things will also increase. This causing an inflation. When the oil prices increase, the vehicle for distribution which needs fuel from oil will get the impact. They will face a loss because of the profit will be cut much for just making the vehicle work, making the vehicle move. I mean for distribution. This will increase the other prices of things like now food prices are also increased, drink also, and the other needs like paper also increase. I mean 1 year ago I buy a food that the price is only 50k, and now I have to buy those food with the price of 59k rupiah. It is so far how the inflation got. Also, the price of plastic also increased, guys. Don't forget the monopoly that often used by some people. They buy a lot of oil to make oil sold out, then they sell the price of oil higher, and people will force to buy it because there is no other choice. There's no other choice, guys. This will make people suffer more. When this happens continuously, it will lead to poverty that in the long term will make the country also poor. Also, when the country poor, the other can be poor also, and the world can be poor. But when we give the critical resources managed to the international materials agency, they will make the distribution fairly, so we won't suffer for shortages. So to prevent this poverty, we should first giving the responsibility for critical resources to international global agency, so the critical resources will be managed nicely, and those things will be managed in responsibility and prevent the economic loss. For all those reasons that we face in every day, overall, I'm proud to propose. Thank you.